Welcome to the Week 8 edition of the Sharp Pick. I'm Jordan Sharp. We've reached the official halfway point here in the NFL season, and teams are starting to hit their strides. Let's take a look at some of the lines that are currently out for Week 8 and decide whether or not they have early week value or if we should wait later in the week for more movement. Thursday Night Football is once again unwatchable as the Vikings host the Buccaneers on a short week. Minnesota is currently favored at -6.5 after opening at -8. Neither team looked great over the past Week 7, and as the Vikings won against the Cardinals and the Buccaneers eventually lost to the Saints. Obviously the line has plummeted, but to which degree it will plummet, I'm not sure. I don't know if it's going to stay put or continue to drop throughout the week, so keep an eye out for another day or so. Early lines between the Bears and the Panthers currently sit anywhere between -10 and -7.5 in favor of the Bears. Most books are currently waiting for an outcome of Monday Night Football before releasing their line, but I think you can expect it to stay within that range, obviously. However, I think it's going to end up on the higher side of that, closer to 8.5 or 9 in favor of Chicago at home. The Miami Dolphins travel into New York this weekend to face off against the Jets Jets, and the Jets were favored at -2.5. However, they have dropped to -1.5. I think you can expect the line to continue to drop all the way down to about a pick'em on even money. However, if you like the Dolphins, which I currently do, I suggest you get in on them now while they are still the underdog, because they will continue to drop. The Patriots are a -7 road favorite against the St. Louis Rams this weekend, and if this line moves like the line between the Packers and the Rams last week, it will plummet. However, I think you can expect, even if it does drop a little bit, to be bet right back up on the Patriots, because every week in the NFL is different, and I do consider the Patriots still a very strong team. Some more value looks to be emerging in the Chargers and the Browns right now, as that line is settled at -3 in favor of the Chargers on the road this week. The Browns are banged up, and the Chargers are fresh off of a bye week with a defense that has been playing much better than expected, and that normally goes well for a Chargers team who's rested. I'm going to jump in now because I think the line's going to go up because I like the road favorites in this one. One line I'm particularly interested in is the Eagles and the Falcons from Philadelphia this week. Now, the Eagles come in as a slight -1 favorite, which surprised me. And I am very, very tempted to suggest the Falcons right now as the slight underdog. I understand that they've had road woes in the past. However, they played pretty well on their first 3 road games. And even though the talent of their schedule so far hasn't been that great, I still think their defense is good enough to cause turnovers on a shaky Eagles offense. And of course, their offense is one of the better passing attacks in the entire league. So take a look at the Falcons on the road, underdogs. Similarly to that line, the Cowboys host the Giants this week, and that line is basically a pick'em in most cases, with -1 being as high as it goes. Now, I think you're going to see this line stay where it's at because there's going to be action on either side. It's going to be a hotly contested game, so don't expect much movement. It's basically a coin flip. Finally, Sunday night should be pretty interesting as the Saints travel into the Mile High City to face off against Peyton Manning and the Broncos. The Broncos are favored right now around -6, and I think you can bet that this game will in fact be a shootout. I'm also not sure of where the line's going to go at this point, so keep an eye on it for it to move one way or the other before making your move. That'll do it for me this week. Make sure you check back every day for my blog updates on that morning's line movement up to date, as well as my Friday video recapping the week's line movement in review and seeing if we still have value late in the week. But until then, I'm Jordan Sharp. This has been the Week 8 edition of The Sharp Pick.